Hello, I am Sebastian Gorka for Prevagen. You all probably know me by now. I'm on television more than Dr. Anthony Fauci pushing mask mandates whenever some politician comes down with the sniffles. No, this is not another one of my Relief Factor commercials. Ever since they got Carl Jones, that strange-looking bull-riding guy, to do their commercials, I haven't got a call back. I guess they think that Americans identify more with professional bull riders than a British-American Hungarian podcaster. So, now that I've my pain under control with my daily doses of Relief Factor and 120 milligrams of morphine, I've decided to concentrate on my memory. As you know, as you age, your memory begins to worsen. Like many of you, I often find myself walking into other people's homes thinking I am at the public restroom, and making a mess in their kitchen sink, or reporting for work at the airport as a Southwest Airlines pilot in my birthday suit. And sadly, I also suffer from low energy. So I thought I would try some of those memory pills they advertise on TV. The product is called Prevagen. It is purported to be a memory-enhancing product that, according to the FDA, provides no beneficial or nutritional value. Prevagen is made from emulsified jellyfish parts that are then dried out, ground up into powder and placed in capsules. Before I heard of Prevagen, I was completely unaware that jellyfish had great memories. I would have thought that if they made memory pills out of something, it would be elephants. I never would have imagined that jellyfish spent a lot of time remembering stuff. But I thought, why not? So, I started taking Prevagen with 20 ounces of Red Bull for an energy boost. And after only 2 months of taking those jellyfish pills and Red Bull, I remember the location of every swimming pool within a 20-mile radius of my home. And I can get to them very, very fast. Now I feel no pain and enjoy going to swimming pools and just floating around and stinging people. The Prevagen people did not pay me to do this commercial, but I hope they hear it and give me a call. Next, I'm gonna do an unsolicited commercial for Unbalanced Nature. You know, those fruit and vegetable capsules, because I really hate eating real fruit and vegetables. But for now, I'm Sebastian Gorka for Prevagen.
Well, I had fun with Tony and running around lights and sirens for a few minutes until we got closer to town. I turned off the siren because we're not really in an emergency situation and it's against the police department regulations. So we just drove around at normal speed and talked for the remainder of the half-hour trip to Captiva. I was feeling very foggy brain like I usually do when the Genius Factor pills start wearing off. I knew it was risky, but I popped another Genius Factor pill and washed it down with the remainder of a warm can of Fada Diet Cola that I had opened earlier. Coming down from my normal dosage and the extra pill I took that morning made me feel unusually tired, but I wanted to get through the arrest as quickly as possible and get home to Fada and little Doodle dog. Tony and I already had this case in the bag with enough circumstantial evidence to arrest Clark Powell and get him in for formal interrogation. So Tony and I decided on our usual arrest technique, and that is to just introduce ourselves and overwhelm the subject with our awesomeness. Anywho, when Powell was finally confronted in the headquarters with what we know surrounding his murder adventure, like the reflective glass doors he couldn't possibly have seen Mandarin through, and the manicured sand yard he and his dog couldn't possibly have walked through, there won't be any way he'll be able to worm his way out of a conviction. We felt confident that Murphy and his team would have uncovered more physical evidence at the scene, like fingerprints that would place Powell there. If the case actually goes to trial, who knows? Maybe Powell will hire that moron and moron family of ambulance chasers to defend him. You know, I've always wanted to go up against one of those creeps in court. But right now, I was just anxious to get back home as soon as possible and get a good night's sleep after this day of too many Genius Factor pills. Before we went into the restaurant at South Seas, we cruised through the employee parking lot to see if we could find a small blue foreign sports car registered to Powell. We found a 2022 blue Honda Civic Sport Touring parked in the back of the lot. The blue Honda had a Florida vanity plate that read Nookie. It was registered to an M. Smith. There was no other vehicle in the lot or in close proximity to the restaurant that was registered to Clark Powell. Well, Tony, that didn't pan out for us. I hope Powell is here and he didn't skip out on us.
Yeah, maybe he rode to work with a friend. It would have been probably too much to ask for to hope to find a blue foreign sports car registered Clark Powell that had a vanity plate on it that said, "I done it."
Yeah, too much. But that kind of thing only happens in comedy cop shows. Let's do this.
Yeah.
It's been a long day. 301 headquarters? 301 and 302 will be 10-6 at South Seas Plantation. Nice night tonight.
Yeah, the breeze out on the island's nice.
Through this whole thing, Tony, I think we should use my old good cop technique with Powell.
Good cop. Oh, gee, I was hoping for bad cop.
Can't do that, Tony.
How come?
Because we're both good cops.
All right.
Oh, look, it's that local girl, Casey Phillips.
Oh, she got married. She's Casey Zucker now.
Wow, lucky guy.
Yeah, she's great. I saw her perform Sweet Charity at Barbara B. Mann back in 2009 when she was still in high school.
Yeah, I missed that, but I caught the show at the high school award show in Tampa. I thought you could be a star by now.
Yeah, everybody did. That must be the manager coming.
Looks like a character out of a Scorsese movie.
Good evening, gentlemen. Welcome to South Seas Plantation. Yeah, our motto here ever since 1850 is we're not racist. It was a plantation when we bought the joint. We just kept the black folks who were already working here employed. I'm the maitre d', yeah. Accursio Balzanari is the name. No relationship to Calogero Balzanari, if that's what you're thinking.
I wasn't thinking that. Who's Calogero Balzanari?
Why, he's my brother-in-law, see?
But I thought you said he wasn't related to you.
He isn't, see? He's from a whole other line of Balzanaris. He just married my sister, Emily Carter, though. No inbreeding going on, if that's what you're thinking.
I'm not thinking that either.
But shouldn't your sister's name have been Emily Balzanari?
No, but it is now because she married that Calogero Balzanari guy, see?
But you said your sister's name was Emily Carter before she married him. Wouldn't her last name have been Emily Balzanari when she was born?
In the normal world, probably.
No, it should have been Calogero Balzanari, see? But there was an unfortunate baby mix-up at the hospital where she was born. Now there's some poor mug running around out there named Calogero Balzanari who should have been Emily Carter, see? Yeah, life can be a real kick in the cojones sometime, if that's what you're thinking.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that Calogero Balzanari might be your actual brother, and that Emily Carter was the baby that got mixed up with him at the hospital, and that somehow they grew up and met each other and got married. And now your brother is your brother-in-law.
I understand how two babies of the same sex could get mixed up. But how could they make a mistake between a baby boy and a baby girl?
It happens all the time these days, see? Too damn many sexes out there to keep up with these days, see? You just can't tell them apart, see? Just dumb luck in our case, though, because the wife and I always wanted a girl anyway, so we didn't make a big fuss about it. We just slipped out of the hospital and moved to Florida, see? Couldn't afford the damn hospital bill anyway, see? Yeah, life has a way of working things out by itself, if that's what you're thinking.
No, actually what I'm thinking is that I'm gonna have to think about that a little more.
So, you fellas get reservations?
Well, yeah, I have quite a few about you and your family, but we don't have reservations for dinner. Look, I'm Detective Brick Benson, and this is my partner, Tony Goomba. We're here on official business.
Oh, a couple of dicks, huh? Oh, what a coincidence. My neighbor, Bob Holloway, is a dick, too.
Really? What department is he with?
Why, he's with J.C. Penney's menswear at the Edison Mall.
I thought you said he was a detective.
No, I said he was a dick. No offense intended to you two dicks, if that's what you're thinking.
No, I stopped thinking back at the hospital mix-up thing.
So, you're here on business, eh? Is there some kind of problem, detectives? Look, I didn't run into that old lady's car at the bagel factory last night and leave the scene, if that's what you're thinking.
Well, I know I wasn't thinking that before, but I kind of am now.
Look, there wasn't no witnesses there but me, see? And I didn't see a damn thing, or I'd have reported it, see?
We didn't come here about that.
So you were saying something about somebody running into a lady's car at the bagel factory?
Tony, we didn't come here about that.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing you're not here about that, see? It would be a waste of your time, see? Because I'm not some kind of guy who just tear the rear bumper off of some sweet old granny's Kia Rio subcompact sedan with this Hummer H1 and then go hang out at the airport cell phone lot until things blew over, see? I'm just not that kind of a guy, see? If that's what you're thinking. For God's sake, man, I know a Vietnam veteran. And I'm a member of the Lee County Electric Co-op. I wouldn't do such a thing, see? If that's what you're thinking.
No, like I said, that's not what I'm thinking. We're not here about that. The bagel factory on College Parkway is out of our jurisdiction. Keep your focus, Tony.
Sorry, it was a good story.
Look, even if that was what I was thinking, it's out of our jurisdiction. We're here to see a guy named Clark Powell. He reported that he witnessed a murder that happened today on Fort Myers Beach, and we want to check out his story. Now, is he here?
Ah, you must mean Dick Powell. Yeah, that jamook is a waiter here.
Dick Powell?
Oh, he's not the actor guy, Dick Powell, if that's what you're thinking.
I wasn't. Dick Powell is dead.
Well, he's lazy as hell, but he ain't dead, if that's what you're thinking.
I mean, Dick Powell, the actor, is dead.
He's telling me his name is Clark Powell.
What are you saying? The actor guy told you he was Clark Powell?
No, the Dick who works here.
Oh, that Dick. Why did you say so?
I did just say so.
Okay, Mac, don't give yourself a hernia. Anyway, nah, his full name is Richard Clark Powell, see? I just call him Dick because he's more of a Dick than a Richard, see? Again, I mean no offense to you two, Dick, see?
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, he thinks he's some sort of a big shot now that he witnessed a murder. Hell, from all the hullabaloo, you'd think he was the only guy that ever witnessed a murder. Happens every day where I come from in New Jersey, see? I witnessed 7 murders myself a year ago, see? Yeah, I was right there when they happened, but I never told anyone. Didn't want to get involved and have to answer a lot of questions, see? Yeah, and I saw some big shot union leader whacked back in 1975, but I didn't have anything to do with it either, I tell you. I just tossed the gun in the river for a friend. But I had nothing to do with the actual murder, if that's what you're thinking. Anyway, Clark Powell's no big shot in my book. He's only a waiter, see? Not a maitre d' like I am. He just wants to impress the waitresses here. You sure you don't want to talk to me?
Did you witness a murder on Fort Myers Beach?
Of course not. If I did, I'd have reported it, see? Just as long as I didn't have to get involved in that anyway, see? Nah, I was just the only witness when that Hummer like mine hit that little Kia and knocked the bumper off it at the bagel factory and then took off. But I didn't see anything, see? If that's what you're thinking. So you can't bet it on me, see?
Look, we're not trying to pin anything on you. Do you mind getting Clark or Richard or Dick or whoever he is for us? It won't take long and we'll be out of your hair.
Yeah, sure. He's back in the kitchen probably bragging to the chef about how he's helping solve your little murder down at the beach. He ought to go to New Jersey and see some real murder, see? That's what he ought to do.
This murder here was pretty real. A lady was stabbed to death.
Oh, yeah? Afterwards, they chop her up and put her in a big Teflon barrel full of hydrofluoric acid and melt her body into a pool of goo? No. Well, did they run her through a meat grinder and feed her to the fishes? No. Well, then they must have run her through a wood chipper and fertilized Vince Luscalgo's rose garden up in Tampa.
No, we didn't do that either.
Well, good Lord, did they at least toss her body into the wet concrete foundation of some new building then?
No, we didn't do anything like that.
No. The poor lady was just stabbed to death while she was napping in a model home on the beach, and they took her jewelry.
Then this wasn't a real murder, see? In Jersey, your little stabbing incident wouldn't amount to much more than a jaywalking ticket.
Yeah, well, it's murder here in Florida, pal.
Yeah, it may not be a big deal murder where you come from, pal, but it's pretty darn big deal here in Florida.
Yeah, but we'll fix all that once we get that Santa's guy out of office, see? Come on, I'll take you back to the kitchen. You can talk to Pal in my office.
Well, this murder was the first murder in Fort Myers Beach since its incorporation.
Yeah, the closest murder to Fort Myers Beach was a little while back when Lucky the Manatee was murdered by that Tommy Chinese comedian guy, Hee Ha Ho. There was one guy killed too, I think, and a couple of other people who were injured.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that. Too bad they couldn't give that Tommy the chair. He was friends with Hunter Biden, wasn't he? Yeah, they're both dicks, too. Too bad they couldn't nail them. And a big dick in the White House, too.
Yeah, but Ihaho had diplomatic immunity through his father. He was in business with the big guy.
What the heck is America coming to when you can't just grab a couple of commies like them off the street and seal the deal? Don't they have Teflon barrels and hydrofluoric acid here? Oh, here we are.
Whoa! Careful, Brick. I got you.
Thanks, Tony. I'm okay, all right?
Yeah. Be careful. I should have warned you, see? The floors can be very slippery in the kitchen area.
Yeah, tell me about it. I almost busted my butt.
Yeah. Glad you're all right, you know. We sure don't need no lawsuits going on, say, because it's bad for business, see?
Yeah, I see. Well, thanks a whole lot for your concern.
Well, it's not like I wasn't concerned about your well-being, see? If that's what you're thinking.
Well, I didn't have time to think while I was in the process of falling. Forget about it.
Say, you sounded just like Johnny Depp and Johnny Brasco just then when you said, forget about it.
I did?
Yeah.
Only completely different?
Yeah, actually sounded more like Amber Heard when Johnny Depp testified that she pooped on his side of the bed. I was just yanking your chain.
Very funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, like I said, you guys can use my office down the hallway there on the left, just past where the carpet starts, eh? I don't see Dick. He's probably out in the dining room blabbing to the waitresses about his big murder adventure. He thinks he's a big shot, see? Well, I'll go get him and send him back to you.
Yeah, thanks. We'll get out of here as quickly as possible.
Yeah, thanks, Curly Toes.
It's Accursio.
Oh, darn, sorry. Rick, we almost made through that whole scene without messing that guy's name up.
Wait, I made it. It was you who slipped up and called him Curly Toes.
Yeah, my bad. That floor was really slippery, huh, Rick?
Yeah. All right, here's Curly Toes. Curly Toes' office. Yeah, Tony, that floor's as slick as goose snot. I forgot about that. Thanks for catching me. I sure don't need another head injury or a broken tailbone.
I always have your back, Rick.
Well, this time you had my butt.
Yes, I did. Yeah, you feeling your genius factor yet, Rick?
Yeah, I'm thinking coming around. Still a little fuzzy-brained and tired and kind of burned out. Hey, Tony, I've been thinking. Look, I want you to take this arrest under your name.
What, me? You're the consulting detective, Rick. It's been mostly you all the way up to now.
Yeah, Tony, but I'm the consulting detective. And I've been consulting with you, haven't I?
Well, yeah, you have, Rick, but...
Consulting is what they're paying me to do, not claim credit for all the cases. If I take the majority of the cases, it won't do your career any good. Now, look, I'm retired and I'm doing just great. Besides, as long as arrest and clearances are increasing, everybody's going to be happy. Now, with your name on the majority of the major crimes, you're looking at lieutenant in no time. You'll be set to retire, and maybe you'll find some private detective agency that might need your help.
Rick, do you mean it? But...
No buts about it, pal. Besides, as the arresting officer, you'll have to coordinate the follow-up, the reporting, the evidence procedure, the whole ball of wax. So you get the credit, but you also get most of the work. Some people say I ain't doing you no favors. I'll complete my report, help out where I can, and testify at trial. This way, Fada and I will have more time to focus on our business. We got a lot going on, you know, and Fada's been doing more than 4 full-time employees could do. Besides, you know, she and I need some time to work together and be together and you know, other stuff.
Oh, yeah. Gee, thanks, Rick. You're the best. You and Fada should get right along to doing that other stuff as soon as possible.
Yeah, we're going to hop right on that. That was a little too much, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think sometimes you lean a little heavy toward the mature audience. Well, detectives, here's your big hero. If you guys need me for anything else, I'll be out in the dining room, me or Dean. Not bragging about all the murders I've committed. I mean, I've witnessed. That's what you're thinking.
Yeah, thanks a lot. We'll try not to think about that. Hello, Mr. Powell. I'm Detective Brick Benson, and this is my partner, Detective Tony Guma. You gave him your preliminary statement over the phone earlier. Nice to finally meet you. Sorry to have you come to your place of business at this time, but we couldn't break free any earlier.
Yeah, nice to see him in person, Mr. Powell.
Yeah, nice to meet you guys too. Glad to help. It was very scary. I never saw a murder before.
Yeah, well, most people haven't, but these days it looks like more people are going to get the chance.
Did you say you're Brick Benson?
Yeah, Mr. Powell. Look, I'm afraid we're going to have to...
I've heard about you. They call you the Ace Detective, right?
Yes, they do. Mr. Powell, we're here to...
Oh, my. You're awfully big.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, well, but most people say I'm awesomely big, Mr. Powell. We're here to place you...
You hear about the murder?
Yes, we're here to put you...
You think I did it, right?
Yeah, Mr. Powell, because you kind of did.
But before we go on, Mr. Powell, take another look at me, would you? Are you sure you don't think I'm awesomely big?
No. You're awfully big and mean and scary looking, so I say you look awful. You're like awfully big. And then I've heard all about you. I'm frightened.
Yeah, Mr. Powell, you're right. Brick, you do look big and mean and scary, so awfully kind of fit.
You're not helping, Tony. Look, I'm definitely awesome and big, Mr. Powell, because I'm 6'3", 220 pounds, and I'm a cop. Yeah, I can see how a person might think I'm big and scary, but in no way do I look awful. Awesome. I can understand awesome.
Oh my, you're yelling at me.
I'm not yelling. I'm not yelling, am I, Tony? I'm not yelling.
No, I say you're awesomely telling him that you're just awesome.
Okay, but don't beat me or yell at me. I confess, I killed that lady. Yeah, I was there to case the house to burglarize it later. I walked in the front door of the mobile home and I found her sleeping. Well, she had a big diamond ring on, and I took a kitchen knife and I stabbed her in the back and took the ring. Then I ran out the front door, got in my car and left. Please don't beat me anymore or anything.
Hey, don't beat him anymore, Brick. He's already confessed.
I didn't beat him. Good Lord, man, I didn't beat you. I didn't even yell at you. Did you see me beat him, Tony?
No, sorry. I must have missed it. I got distracted looking at this college Girls Gone Wild calendar. Is that Fada?
What? No. I think that's Jennifer Anderson. Now, look. Now, pay attention, Tony. You may have to be a witness for me. Look, Mr. Powell, we're placing you under arrest for the murder of Sandra Mankin today. Grab that calendar, Tony.
Yeah, okay. It sure looks like Fada, Brick.
It isn't.
Who told you I murdered that woman? They're lying.
You told me just now.
Yeah, you did, Mr. Powell, just now.
Well, you shouldn't believe a word I said. I lied because you look so awful mean. I've heard all about you.
From who?
Six-Scar Willie.
Oh, Lord.
Well, you can't beat him, Rick. That would be awful and mean.
I wasn't gonna beat him. Remember the good cop thing? He just confessed to killing Sandra Mankin on his own because I'm so awesome.
I said you were awful.
I'm not awful. I'm awesome. And you didn't lie. You told us exactly how the murder was committed. You know all the details. Can you explain that?
It was a lucky guess. I was at home all day playing Pokemon. Is it my fault and I'm a good guesser?
You weren't guessing. You are a murderer and a liar.
See? I'm a liar. You can't believe a word I say.
Well, you weren't lying about the murder. You called the police and reported the murder and then gave Detective Goomba here your statement.
Yes, he did do that, Mr. Powell.
Can you prove it?
Yes, we can prove it.
Well, if I'm a liar and a murderer, how can you believe what I say?
Yeah, but how can we believe a liar and a murderer?
Because he told us exactly how he committed the murder, Tony.
Oh, right.
Well, I told you, I guess. I'm just lucky that way.
Mr. Powell, there was a witness. He saw a man run out of the house and leave in a small blue foreign sports car.
Oh, well, he probably found the man that killed that lady.
Yes, he did. And the man was you.
I didn't see the man who killed the lady.
I mean, the witness saw you. And it was you because you just told us that you left the model home out the front door and got in the car and left.
Well, how do you know I left there in my girlfriend Nuki's car?
Well, because you just now told us that because there's a 2022 blue Honda Civic Sport Touring parked out in the employee parking lot that has a vanity plate on it that says Nookie.
Well, that's just a coincidence.
That's a really big coincidence, Mr. Powell.
See, Detective, your partner agrees with me that it's a really big coincidence.
I didn't agree with you that it was a coincidence, Mr. Powell.
The way he said it, it just sounds like he agreed with you.
Yeah, my electrocution isn't so good sometimes.
Your elocution isn't so good, Tony.
Yeah, that ain't so good either.
Oh, boy. Anyhow, we're placing you under arrest, Mr. Powell, for the murder of Sandra Mankin. We'll iron that all out at headquarters.
Hey, wait a minute.
Want to do the honors, Tony? It's your arrest, my dear Goomba.
I would be delighted, my dear Detective Benson. Mr. Powell, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney, and if you can't afford to hire an attorney, one will be provided for you. Do you understand the rights I just told you?
Of course I know my rights. I watch television. Everybody knows their f***ing rights. I want Nookie.
Everybody does, Mr. Powell. Everybody does. At 8:15 p.m., Tony and I started off to police headquarters to book Clark Powell for the murder of Sandra Mankin. I was very satisfied that we were able to solve the Mankin murder in only 8 hours. My mind was racing under the influence of too much of that genius factor. Thoughts tumbled disturbingly around in my head like a bunch of nylon shirts mixed with tennis shoes in a clothes dryer, that comes out full of static and smells like a men's sauna at the YMCA. Don't ask me how I know what that smells like. Anywho, from the time we left South Seas Plantation all the way to Fort Myers Beach, Powell went on an unsolicited and unstoppable binge of confessions, wherein he laid out every detail of his killing of Sandra Mankin and about the burglary ring he was involved in. The burglary ring consisted of Powell's girlfriend, Nookie, who it turns out was the ringleader, and Powell's brother, Colin, who, by the way, was not Colin Powell, the dead Secretary of State from 2001 to 2005, if that's what you're thinking, as Accursio Balzanari would say. Anywho, Powell just wouldn't shut up, so Tony turned on his cell phone recorder and let Powell rant and rave and cry. Powell, it seems, was eaten up with guilt and abused by his girlfriend Nookie, a.k.a. Mary Smith. He killed Mankin and took her diamond ring and her diamond necklace on an impulse and as a gift for Nookie so she wouldn't beat him. I was pretty sure we were going to clear up a dozen or more model home burglaries in the Lee County area from this one arrest. Clark Powell was a scout for the ring. He visited model homes like the one on Flamingo Drive, and when he found items that were being sought by clients, the crew would return after hours, break in, remove the items of furniture and whatnot, and deliver them to their clients at low cost. I radioed for a patrol unit to go to Powell's house to pick up Nookie and his brother Colin for questioning. With a name like Nookie, I wonder what kind of gal she would be that would hook up with such a little whiny weasel as Clark Powell. I conjured up visions of a sexy gal like Sandra Bullock in Ocean's 8. Well, my wondering was answered when we arrived at headquarters and found that patrol had already bought the mysterious Nookie in. We put out a bolo for Colin Powell, who was not at the house at the time patrol arrived. Turned out that Nookie was an impressive gal. but not impressive like I was hoping for. I could see how she would be the kind of gal who would grow on a fella, though. Yeah, grow on a fella like a fungus on a cadaver. She weighed as much as a 286.5-pound bag of raw pork rinds. At first impression, I thought her face might have once been round and smooth like a big pink balloon just before it popped, but now looked like a deflated, flaccid mass of melted rubber mixed with Rice Krispies resulting from an explosion at one of those combination rubber band and Kellogg's cereals factories, if there is such a thing. When they brought her in, she tried to act sexy, like Kathleen Turner in Body Heat, but she looked like Jerry Lewis on prednisone. She tried to make a sexy, girly giggle, but it came out like a cat coughing up a hairball. And the whole scene seemed unreal, eerie, and unspeakably grotesque, like watching Hillary Clinton and Rosie O'Donnell modeling thong bikinis. Anywho, I turned the whole mess over to Tony and the booking crew at headquarters. I called the chief at his home, and he was thrilled that we closed the case in such short order. I told the chief that this clearance should go down under Tony's name, and he agreed with my reasoning for that. After chatting with the chief for a few minutes, I told Tony I was going to file my preliminary report and head home. Ah, yes, this was all good. Definitely the best of both worlds, like we had discussed at the meeting Fada and I had with the chief. This consulting detective thing, yes, it was real good. It was kind of like you see in the movies where the star cop makes arrests and then just goes home or hangs out around the police department flirting with the gals or going off to a bar or something without doing any follow-up work. And he just, goes on to another case the next day. So I left the police department a little after 11 p.m. and headed home to Fada and little Doodle Dog. Fada, baby, I'm home. Hello. Oh, hello, Doodle Dog. You missed that. Oh, yeah. Not on the leg. Not on the leg.
Hello, darling.
Get him off my leg.
Get off Daddy's leg. Go lie down on your binky. Mommy and Daddy want to talk. Hello, darling.
Hi, baby.
What took you so long?
What? What do you mean, what took me so long? I've only been gone 8 hours. That's a shorter day than I've ever worked, and I solved a murder and took the murderer to jail already.
Oh. Sorry, darling. I just assumed you would be quicker than that. I guess I overestimated your abilities.
Overestimated my abilities? This is the fastest murder investigation ending in arrest in the history of the department.
Oh? That is nice.
Well, what did you and little Doodle Dog do today? Did you just relax and sit around the pool?
No, darling. Right after you left, I cleaned the house inside and out. I did the laundry, repaired the leak in the master bathroom, installed the new silent garbage disposal, and changed the oil and filters in the CRV. Then I closed 3 house sales. Oh yes, and I finalized the Vance infidelity investigation. I was able to get conclusive photographic evidence of Mr. Vance cheating on his wife during a 2-hour surveillance at the Motel 6 in North Fort Myers. And I completed a singing course from the Academy of Voice Online, and I believe I am quite good. So we are no longer constrained to talk singing. I can teach you to sing too if you like, or I can just sing to you.
Really? Well,
I got home from the Vance surveillance just a little while before you got here. Oh, and Brick darling?
Yes, baby?
It is true what they say about Motel 6.
And what is that, baby?
They really do leave the lights on for you. Which is very nice of them, but it made it difficult for me to move around in a stealthy manner to get photographs, so, as a ploy, I dressed as a maid and took a change of towels to the room where Mr. Vance was having his dalliance with the Hooters girl.
You did?
I had to utilize my eyes built-in ultra-high resolution infrared camera rather than the Fujifilm GFX 50S because it would have been too obvious that I was taking pictures.
Yeah, that would have been very obvious. Good thinking, baby.
So I caught them in flagrante delicto as I walked in the room.
I think Miss Vance wants proof of something more than fragrant toe licking.
Huh?
You said they were in fragrant toe licking. I think you can get that at any massage place, I'm pretty sure. It sounds nasty, but Miss Vance wants proof that he's
She wants proof that Mr. Vance is having an affair with the Hooters girl. And now we have it.
I don't recall toe licking being on Mrs. Vance's list of things she wanted evidence of, you know? She wants evidence of them,
Doing it?
Oh, Lord, yes. Okay, yes, I didn't want to use the D-I word. You know how I don't like to use obscene words.
Doing and it are not obscene words, Brick. In flagranti delicto is a medieval Latin phrase meaning having an intimate physical relationship.
You mean they were having, you know...
Yes, Brick. Sex.
Oh, Lord. Why didn't you just say that? Never mind, I'm glad you didn't.
I did say that, Brick. I just said it in medieval Latin. Because you freak out when the S word is used.
Darn, the S word. Oh, it should never be used in mixed company.
Brick, darling. Look around. It is just you and me. We are not in mixed company. Unless you consider little Doodle dog mixed company.
Oh, yes. Well, I'm glad you sent him out of the room, but he still heard us talking. He's very young and impressionable and has great hearing. See?
Yes.
Oh, well, I'm glad the fragrant toe-licking thing didn't mean actual toe-licking. That's just sick, okay? Darn it, he's still listening.
Oh, my.
Anywho, you would think that some medieval Latin guy would be smart enough to connect what you just said with actual toe-licking and put a stop to it before it even got down the line to us.
Oh, my goodness.
We're probably going to have to get Doodle Dog some psychological help at some time.
Oh, my.
Anywho, how did you get into the room?
I was able to use my pick-a-lock internal unlocking application to open the door, and then I just walked in on them and quickly got the high-resolution photos we needed.
Wow.
I quickly said I was sorry and that I thought the room was unoccupied, and I left. I processed the photographs and printed them out remotely on our Bluetooth printer and then drove home and got them and drove to Mrs. Vance's house. Then I delivered the photos to Mrs. Vance and collected our $5,000 fee. I stopped by Wells Fargo and deposited Mrs. Vance's check just before arriving back home. I was just about to complete an aviation ground school course before you got home.
Really? You couldn't complete the ground school? Oh, I would have thought you could have finished that too. I may have overestimated your ability.
Are you disappointed in me, darling?
Well, no. Probably not. I can kind of understand. You did just finish that real estate law certification last week. So, being a bit slow in completing the home closures is understandable. I didn't know you were interested in getting your pilot's license, though.
I thought it would be an enhancement for our business. I've been looking at a like-new, fully loaded 2008 Cessna 182T with only 285 hours on it. It cruises at 193 miles per hour. It would be great for business trips anywhere in Florida and possibly farther.
How much?
It is only $597,000.
Is that all? $597,000. Come on, Fada. We don't have that kind of money. Do we?
Of course we do. I follow Dave Ramsey, as you know. I have been investing and saving ever since we got engaged and you called it off. I was anticipating that you would come to your senses. So we are doing just fine. It would take a big chunk out of our children's college funds, but we can do it, if you think it will help our business.
Wait a minute. Our children's college fund? We don't have any... we can't have any...
Don't worry, darling. I called Daddy while I was doing the surveillance.
You did?
He said he thinks he can fix it so we can have a Brick Jr. and a Fada Jr. within a year.
But...
Not at the same time, though. Brick Jr. would be our first child and Fada Jr. would be a year later. I thought it might even be cute if we reversed their names in a clever way.
What?
We could call our son Fade.
Fade?
And our daughter could be Brickhead.
Brickette? Doc Peffler thinks that we can have real babies? I mean, that's really way out there, darling.
Yes, but a year will give us time for you to come to your senses and ask me to marry you.
Yeah, but
we are living in sin now, and I really don't want Brick Jr. and Fada Jr. to be bastard children who will follow us to hell.
Bastard children?
Don't worry about it, darling. I have everything under control. Oh, and by the way, Dr. Hidari's office called and said that Dr. Hidari wanted you to come in to see him as soon as possible.
Well, that doesn't sound good. Did he say what it was about?
No. Dr. Hidari didn't say anything. His office called. Oh.
What?
My goodness.
What?
In my rush to give you that important information, I inadvertently uttered a humorous malapropism.
Oh, what?
Did you catch it?
No, I don't. No, I didn't. And I don't think I would have known what it was if I did catch it. Well, did they call?
No, silly Willie. Dr. Hidari's office didn't call. It was someone at his office who called. Get it?
No.
I said his office called. Offices don't call. You aren't laughing, darling.
No, I'm not.
I expected you to say I was a hoot. That would be okay because I understand the hoot idiom now.
No, I'm not laughing. I'm worried why Dr. Hidari wants to see me as soon as possible.
My humorous malapropism doesn't help to alleviate your concern then?
No.
I am sorry, darling. I thought I was hooting very appropriately at the use of that malapropism.
No problem, baby. He probably just wants to check up on me. Anywho, we were talking about getting an airplane for the business, but I don't.
Oh yes, darling. I'll be done with the ground school test this week. Then I have to put in some hours of flight time before taking the pilot's licensing test. That will be easy. I will be totally in tune with any aircraft we fly in from the very moment I get inside and connect with the instruments. In other words, I will be able to fly perfectly from the outset.
Your skills amaze me, baby. Wow, to be able to fly the moment you get into an airplane, that's really something. You actually connect with the airplane?
Yes, darling. It is called fly-by-wire. That is a semi-automatic and typically computer-regulated system of controlling the flight of an aircraft or spacecraft. Remember, I am not just your beautiful girlfriend. I am also a highly sophisticated, advanced, and sentient android being. To semi-quote you when you spoke with Moneypenny, it is one of the benefits of being me. I can do things that are way out there.
Well, baby, by all means, get your license, but I'm not sure we really need to get an airplane right now. We can see how our business expands first, okay?
Okay, darling. It is nice to know that you are thinking logically. Well, sometimes anyway.
Yeah, sometimes. But I've been thinking that we need a break, and maybe we should go to Michigan to see the fall leaves. I'd love to go to the Hooten area. It's beautiful up there. We missed going to see the change of seasons last year with that COVID thing.
Certainly, darling. If that is what you want to do.
So, logically, what is the best way to do it? I think we should drive up or fly up. You're more logical than I am most of the time.
Yes, I am. Logically, flying up to Michigan would be the fastest means of transportation. And then rent a car up there. We can get the plane tickets on points and maybe a little on comfort and suites. So there's that.
Yeah, but, that's still might be very costly in the Biden economy.
He sucks.
So, who knows what the rental car will cost anyway, and the gas, too. And then we'd be limited by the time we have to get the rental car back to the airport.
Yes, darling. That is a consideration. We could drive. It is 1,737 miles from our house to Houghton, Michigan. That is a 26-hour drive just to get there by car. I am sure that the gas would be very costly for that drive. And that is just for the drive there. It is 52 hours just in driving time, not counting stops.
Yeah, that's a long drive. I really don't like doing long car trips like that. I guess we should just forget it. It was a silly notion, I guess. You also have to consider the wear and tear on the car, and it's silly. Just forget it.
Darling, it is not silly if you really want to go to Michigan to see the fall leaves. It is not simply a matter of logic. It all depends on our priorities. If that is what you want to do, then we should do it. It's fine with me as long as we are together. Flying would be the best way, I do believe. That way we could spend more time in Michigan.
Yeah, but I want to do more than just go straight to Houghton. I want to drive around the Upper Peninsula. I want to go to Paradise and Petoskey, Charlevoix, Sleeping Bear Dunes, Lake Ann, and Traverse City.
Well then, that is what we should do. Yes, we should fly there and rent a car. It will be very expensive, but that is what we should do if that is what you want to do.
What do you think? I need your logical input. You are my Miss Spock, So raise your eyebrow and tell me what's logical and what's not. What do you think?
Logic does not necessarily apply in this case. But if you want to apply logic, then we have to take into consideration that we wanted to buy the property next door so we would have a full 2 acres along the beachfront. The price is good now and the owner has given us a little time to think about it. And we both want that property. The problem is, that property will certainly sell soon in this market if we don't buy it. The owner is only holding the property for us because of who you are. I believe that is a form of white privilege and it works in our favor on this occasion. I am not offended.
What? Why would you be offended? You're white too.
Android easy and white.
Whatever. Anywho, baby. It's not white privilege. I'm half Greek, so it's olive privilege.
Cool.
So you're saying we should do that and just forget the Michigan trip, right?
No. I have said we should do whatever you want to do according to our priorities. Your priorities are by extension my priorities, darling. You asked for my logical input. So then tell me, what are the priorities here? Do you want to travel around in Michigan or see the fall leaves? Because if your priority is to see fall leaves, we can fly to an area where there are lots of fall leaves and come home. A good place would be the Smoky Mountains. That is typically a very good place to see fall leaves. So, do you want to see fall leaves or go to Michigan?
I want both. It's not just leaves and it's not just Michigan. It's leaves in Michigan, see?
Well, we could do both. We could buy the land now and buy tickets and make reservations. That is what we should do if you really want to do both. It will just take a big chunk out of our discretionary funds. But by definition that is what discretionary money is for. So, we could do it. If you want to go, then we should go.
So, you're saying we shouldn't go. You're right. We shouldn't go. And we'll just stay here.
OMG. No. I did not say we should not go. What I said was, if you want to go, then we should go. That is exactly what I said.
No, you're right. It's silly. We shouldn't go. What would you do if you were me?
I would shoot myself.
Very funny.
I was being serious. Just kidding. I'm a kidder. Sweetheart. First of all, as I have said several times, I did not say we should not go. But secondly, I really enjoy being in our new house on the beach with you and little Doodle Dog. See? Little Doodle Dog likes that too. So, based on my previously programmed female perspective, which by the way, correlates with my learned female perspective, I personally tend to focus on our home, little Doodle Dog, our future marriage, and the happy arrival of Bert Jr. and Fada Jr. So I posit that in order to achieve our goals, we could buy the property so we don't lose it, and go somewhere in Michigan for a few days where the leaves are beautiful, and then return home.
First of all, I barely understood a darn thing you just said. Maybe you could try saying that again tomorrow after my morning dose of genius factor in a few minutes with a dictionary. Irregardless, I really want to go to Michigan.
Brick, darling. Irregardless, according to Merriam-Webster, is considered to be a non-standard word used incorrectly to mean the same as regardless. However, in the English language, an IR prefix usually functions to indicate a negative, so technically irregardless would mean not regardless. Most intelligent speakers of the English language use the correct word, regardless of the fact that irregardless has been added to the dictionary only because of its widespread misuse since 1795.
There you go again, being pedantic. You're always doing that.
The word is pedantic.
See, there you go again.
Oh my. Well, if you really want to go to Michigan, regardless, then we should go to Michigan. Problem solved.
But I want the land too. You're no help at all.
Oh dear. Let's just watch an episode of Star Trek Strange New Worlds and go to bed. We can talk more about Michigan and fall leaves tomorrow on our way to Publix.
Yeah.
I need more Nelly eggs for breakfast and vegetables for my salads. And you are almost out of Thomas Everything bagels and you need some more cream cheese. Oh, and we need to find a couple more orange honeydew melons. They are getting hard to find. Sprouts is completely sold out.
I don't know, baby. I don't feel much like watching TV tonight.
Oh, I know. I can sing you a song to relax you.
Oh, I have another idea that will relax me.
Can you wait until after the song, darling? I want to sing for you.
Well, okay, sweetheart. You say you're good at singing now?
Yes. I am very good. If you like it, I might audition for a record company. You will see. I am sure you will be impressed. The song is called Baby I'm a Fool, which of course I am not. But the song has a very nice melody and is enhanced by my perfect pitch. I downloaded the backing track from Cara Fun online. I will even sing it with the contractions that are in the lyrics when called for.
Okay.
Please give me your honest opinion.
Sure.
As long as it is a good opinion, that is. Sit down. Here. Hold
Okay.
the Bluetooth speaker control.
Right.
I will go turn the TV off. Just a second. By just a second, I meant a very short time. As you see,
I
it was
know.
not really just a second.
No.
Just a second is an idiom meaning.
Yeah, I know what the idiom is. Just a second. I know what it means, baby. I remember we did that bit quite a few episodes ago.
Oh, right. I was excited.
Well, I'm glad you weren't Shaheen excited.
Are you ready?
Yeah, ready.
I am nervous.
I won't laugh at you.
Press the play button. Here goes. You better not laugh.
I won't.
How was I to know that this was always only just a little game to you? All the time I thought you gave your heart, I thought that I would do the same for you. Tell the truth, I think I should have seen it coming from a mile away. When the world just say, oh baby, I'm a fool who thinks it's cool to fall in love. If I gave a thought to fascination, I would know it wasn't right to care. Logic doesn't seem to mind that I am fascinated by a love affair. Still, my heart would benefit from a little tenderness from time to time. But never mind, 'cause baby, I'm a fool who thinks it's cool to fall in love. Baby, I should hold on just a moment and be sure it's not for vanity. Look me in the eye and tell me love is never based upon insanity. No. Hear the way my heart is beating. Hurry up, the moment's fleeting. Kiss me now. Don't ask me how. 'Cause baby, I'm a fool who thinks it's cool to fall. Baby, I'm a fool who thinks it's cool to fall. And I would never tell if you became a fool and fell in
Well, what do you think?
Oh, wow. That was fabulous. See? Little Doodle Dog thinks so, too. You know, you're almost as good as Casey Zucker.
Almost as good as Casey Zucker?
Well, maybe as good as Casey Zucker. Is that better?
Yes.
Well, then, yes. You're definitely as good as Casey Zucker. Definitely better than Melody Gardot. Actually, sweetheart, I'm flabbergasted.
You were going to say flabbergasted.
No, I was going to say it right. Flabbergasted. You straightened me out on that word. See? I learn a lot from you. You are very good at that.
I'm happy you think I am good at something.
Oh, you're good at a lot of things.
Like what?
Like, you know.
No, I do not know. What other things am I good at? Tell me. Tell me what I am good at.
Like, you know.
Like what? Go on. You can say it.
Let's just go to bed, baby. I need to sleep off the effects of that genius factor.
I want you to tell me what other things you think I am good at.
I'll think of something. Let's just go to bed.
Now you are talking.
I'm tired.
So just how tired are you?
Pretty tired.
Are you too tired for... You know what?
Too tired? Too tired for, you know.
Yes. Are you absolutely too tired for, you know what?
Oh, well, no, actually, I'm more pretty tired than too tired for, yeah, you know what?
No, I do not know. Is your priority sleeping? And not, you know what?
No, definitely no. My priority is never sleeping more than you know what?
More than I know what?
More than, hey, come on, Fada. You know what is.
Well...
Yeah?
I think I know.
I'm pretty darn sure you know. You're just trying to make me say the S word.
Now would little old me do a thing like that?
Yes?
Come here, big boy.
Okay,
Does that answer your question, stud muffin?
Yeah. Sure. Answer again, will you?
My pleasure.
No. It was mine. Totally my pleasure.